Nick, what are Wasps announcing today and what are the reasons behind it?
Today I'm delighted to announce that Wasps have acquired a new permanent home at the Ricoh Arena. Our ambition is to return Wasps to the very top of European and domestic rugby. Through this move, we have finally achieved the security that this club has craved for years. We now have a sustainable business model which allows us to build for the future and to invest in our squad. Moving to the Ricoh Arena gives us the world-class facilities on the pitch and off the pitch to support that ambition. This ends years of uncertainty about Wasps' future and guarantees the success and longevity of the club.
Our fans will want to know why Coventry, why not London?
There simply are not the sites available in and around London, and even if they were, there is a high level of risk attached to any individual project, which means that those projects may never come to fruition, as we found out with the Booker Airfield site under the previous ownership of the club. What I need to do though is to remind people of where the club was 2 years ago. I personally lived through those periods. We were hours away from going into administration. It's my responsibility to make sure that the club is never ever again in that position. And us moving to the Ricoh Arena means we have delivered on that promise.
Why can't we stay at Adams Park?
The reason we can't stay at Adams Park is it just does not give us a sustainable business model. We do not earn anywhere near enough of the revenues from match day income. We have no access to non-match day income. And if we stay at Adams Park, it would simply perpetuate the difficulties we've experienced in the past. It leads to us incurring a significant loss every year, and ultimately that is non-sustainable and risks the club being in the difficulties it was 2 years ago.
What would you say to current Wasps supporters who will be upset by the upheaval?
Well, firstly, we would say we really understand their upset and we really sympathise. But after all the work we did on the ground moves, we ended up with 3 options. The first option would be to stay at Adams Park, losing £3 million a year, pursuing a site in the southeast and running the very high risk that after those 10 years the site would not come through and we would be back in the very position we are now. The second option, brutally, would be to cut the squad budget in half and try and pray that we survive in the Premiership with that squad. And the third option was to move to the Ricoh Arena. Really, when you analyse the first 2 options, they're non-starters. There is only one option and it is by far the best for this club.
Why has there been so much secrecy about this move? Couldn't you have told supporters more?
Well, we really understand that frustration with supporters, and let me tell you that nobody has felt it more than I have done. We would have loved to have kept our supporters in the loop on everything we've been doing. Unfortunately, we simply haven't been able to do that. All discussions, without exception, have been subject to strict confidentiality agreements, and I think when people think about that, they would understand that. So unfortunately, to the frustration of everyone, our hands have been tied all the way through this process.
Are you absolutely sure this is the best move for Wasps' long-term future?
We have worked very, very long and hard over the last 2 years. We have looked at many, many options. We've analysed them all in the greatest depth of detail, and we are absolutely certain that moving to Ricoh is by far and away the best option for Wasps.